Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar. It's Friday night. We're talking NBA. I've got 5 of my favorite DFS plays for you. None of them over 8K on either FanDuel or DraftKings. A couple of my favorite mid-range and value plays. My favorite bet of the night for you. And, of course, my favorite overall play on the whole slate. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. As we've been doing lately, we're switching gears from MLB, talking NBA hoops here on Friday night. What a better place to be than at the bar on a Friday. So thank you, as always, for hanging out and checking out the video. Now, a couple things. Before we get into the plays, guys, do me a favor. Click that thumbs up button. That tells us you're having a good time here in the Fantasy Bar. You're enjoying the videos. And as I always say, that's the tip jar here. So let's knock that out first. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, doing MLB, NBA videos. Want you to get notified when these videos are coming out, so subscribe to that channel. Also, sports betting, so much fun and getting legalized in a lot of states out there. Well, we have just the tool for you. Look down in the description of the video, scoresandodds.com/beer. Click that, get signed up. You can pay by the month, the week, or the year. Great access to sports betting information, betting splits, different lines all across all the different books out there, analytics, premium picks, just a ton of stuff going on there. So go check it out today, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, let's get into the plays here tonight. Looks like a fun slate of games on a Friday night. Let's start at point guard, shooting guard with TYRESE HALIBURTON of the Kings. So we know it's the time of the year, a lot of injuries, a lot of guys sitting out, and we have that here once again with the Kings. We've seen this scenario play out now a few times. We got no De'Aaron Fox, no Harrison Barnes for the Kings. When we run the numbers and utilizing our Court IQ tool, which you can find in our RotoGrinders premium suite of tools, just an invaluable tool in my opinion. So if you're missing out on it, go check it out today. But when you take these two off the floor, usage goes up over 9% here for TYRESE HALIBURTON. So an absolutely massive leap in usage as you'd expect. De'Aaron Fox does so much with the ball in his hands. Well, now HALIBURTON takes some of that onto his plate, and we've seen it in the results. Over 40 DraftKings points now in 2 of the last 3 games. So the price creeping up on him a little bit, still under 7K on FanDuel. I think that's great value at a tougher shooting guard position, and DraftKings don't hate that $7,400 price point either with that huge usage leap. Love this spot for TYRESE HALIBURTON tonight against the Lakers. All right, let's take a look at our next play. Nice value here in the mid-range with power forward center Jeff Green of the Nets. Now the Nets, we know, has been a rotating door of who's in, who's out. Durant expected to play tonight. Kyrie Irving, we're still keeping an eye on, but I still like Jeff Green. It's kind of taken that role as the third guy when they don't have James Harden. He's stepped in, playing a lot of minutes here, playing over Blake Griffin at this point. So 28 or more minutes in 8 of the last 9 games here for Jeff Green. So we know minutes are money. We want our guys on the floor. Checks that box. How about production? Well, been good there as well. 32 or more DraftKings points now in 4 of the last 6 games. So you do the simple math on that $4,800 price on DraftKings, really stands out as a tremendous value here. FanDuel, a little pricey at 6K. Still don't hate him over there, but this is more of a DraftKings-centric play at that price. And matchup, let's check another box here. Portland, about as bad as it gets. Versatile forwards like Jeff Green. And again, you can find this information in our RotoGrinders Premium under our Court IQ and our lineup HQ. But defense versus archetype looks at a particular way a player plays. We know Jeff Green, one of them versatile forwards, can play a lot of different spots. Portland struggles against players like that. In fact, nobody struggles worse, giving up the most fantasy production there. So a lot of reasons we like Jeff Green here tonight, given those lineups against the Portland Trailblazers. All right, let's spend some money at the point guard position here with Darius Garland of the Cavs. So Colin Sexton's still up in the air if he returns or not. I really don't care with the way Darius Garland's been playing. Obviously, if Sexton is out, that is a huge boom for Darius Garland, but the numbers don't jump up too high as far as usage goes with Sexton out. So if he returns, I don't think it hampers Garland a ton here, especially against the Wizards, and we'll get to that here in a second. But Garland been about as consistent as we could ask for. Averaging almost 43 DraftKings points a game over the last 10. Rarely falls under about 32 DraftKings points, and the upside to get you into the 50s. So kind of satisfies that cash game guy if you're looking to lock in somebody, get a solid floor. Also, the upside he's shown us, and the upside, like we mentioned with that matchup, Washington 5th most fantasy points allowed this season to the point guard position. So whether Sexton's in or not, do not care if he's out. Garland becomes a lock for me. If Sexton's back, Garland's still going to be a big part of my build tonight against the Wiz. All right, let's go back to the mid-range here at small forward, power forward, Bojan Bogdanovic of the Jazz. So another injury situation we can capitalize on here with Utah. No Donovan Mitchell, as we know. Mike Conley going to sit again tonight. Even Royce O'Neal questionable here for the Jazz. So that one's something we want to keep an eye on. But either way, Bogdanovic, a guy I want to lock in my lineups. When we run the numbers in Court IQ, guess who leads the way with Conley and Mitchell off the floor? You guessed it, Bogdanovic. Nice 5% usage bump in those scenarios. And another guy playing consistent, 30 or more DraftKings points in 7 of his last 9 games. In fact, he's given us 37 or more in 3 of those games. So upside here as well. This one, the DraftKings price jumped up, and I don't hate it at 6,300, but FanDuel, an absolute lock and load, 5,300. A no-brainer for me over there. Cash games, tournaments. Love me some Bojan Bogdanovic tonight in this matchup with the Phoenix Suns. All right, moving right along. I promised you my favorite bet of the night as always. So we're going to go with a total here tonight. We're going to go the over 222 in the Atlanta-Philadelphia game. So we saw this game play out the other night. Atlanta really struggled to put points on the board. Philadelphia ran away with that game, but Atlanta looks like they're going to get some guys back. Bogdanovic expected to be back. We'll see if they get Trae Young back. He's a 50-50 proposition as of this recording, but I think they're going to have obviously more offense, and they're going to score way more than the 83 points they scored, or 87, whatever the hell it was the other night. So like that. So let's check that box off. That game, the total was 212.5 in that one. So Vegas is telling us we're expecting more points here. We're expecting Atlanta to get these guys back, to be a lot more aggressive offensively. So the total jumped 10 points. So that's a sign that these guys should be coming back here, and we can expect a much more competitive game and a much more higher scoring game, because these two teams both in the top half of offensive efficiency. Atlanta, in fact, in the top 10 at number 9. Philadelphia playing very well right now. We've seen them put big points on the board here over the last couple games. They check in at 13th in offensive efficiency. So 2 offensive teams. I'm expecting Atlanta to bounce back. I'm expecting a closer competitive game. That could lead to more scoring here, but a lot of reasons. I like the over here in this game. My favorite bet of the night, over 222 with the Atlanta Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, let's get back to the DFS plays. We only got one guy left for it, and you know who that is, the Beast of the Night. But before we do that, we're going to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Absolutely free to play. All you have to do is get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on FanDuel for my favorite play of the night tonight. The closest guess is going to win themselves either a free 3-day pass to RotoGrinders Premium. Check all this stuff out. We've been talking about Lineup HQ, Court IQ, all of that good stuff. Or if you're already a subscriber and you know them great tools, then we're going to send you a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. So let's wrap up Friday night. Let's wrap this week up. My favorite play in the NBA tonight, you know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're going to go to shooting guard, small forward, and we're going to roll with Khris Middleton of Milwaukee, tonight's Beast of the Night. So Giannis had to leave early. In fact, right in the beginning of that game, got injured against Houston. So I'm not expecting to see him in the lineup tonight. Now, obviously, if he comes back, that kind of changes things here, but I'm going to take a stance, say he sits, and if that's the scenario, I want Khris Middleton in almost every one of my lineups here tonight. So, again, we're going to reference back to Court IQ. We take Giannis out of the lineup, and that shows us over a 6.5% usage leap for Khris Middleton. It also pumps out 1.26 fantasy points per minute, so a very nice number there at these prices, under 8K on both sides. And let's look at the matchup. We're good there as well. Chicago bottom 5 in that department against players like Khris Middleton. So again, a lot of reasons we like him. Let's make sure Giannis is out. If he's not, we'll make some adjustments, move some things around. But if he is, Khris Middleton easily becomes my favorite play on the slate tonight and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up for Friday night in the Fantasy Bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. We talk anything you guys want to talk about down there. That is for you. Don't forget your guess for fantasy points on FanDuel for Khris Middleton for a shot at some free RG Premium or free RotoGrinders t-shirt. And lastly, guys, if you're sports betting without scoresandodds.com/beer, you're doing it wrong. Go check it out today. Again, special prices by the week, by the month, or the best deal by the year. Access to some tremendous information go in the comments below the video in the description. Click that link. Get signed up today, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, that will do it for this week, guys. Thank you for hanging out, checking out the videos. I greatly appreciate it. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Best of luck here tonight, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.